Welcome to session 13 of your Divine Purpose Devotional. And as I said last time, there's kind of three expressions that I love to put together. The first we looked at last time, revival, and this one, reformation and transformation. Interchangeable words, and I understand why some prefer one over the other. An incredible verse I've put in the book, Isaiah 61 verse 4, then they will rebuild the ancient ruins. They will raise up the former devastations and they will repair the ruined cities. That verse right there in the middle of Isaiah 61, which begins with the great statement that Jesus repeated and quoted, the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me because he has anointed me. Anointed me to do what? To bind up the brokenhearted, to bring freedom to prisoners, release to captives, sight to the blind, and the gospel of good news to the poor. But it's those that heard the message that actually become the ones of Isaiah 61 verse 4 and rebuild the ruined cities. For me, revival must lead to reformation and transformation of our society. My definition of reformation is when the whole of society, regardless of their relationship with Jesus Christ, comes under the influence of the power, the person, the presence, and the principles of Jesus Christ. Of course, the word reformation was pretty much put in the middle of history, 500 years ago, by Martin Luther, and what he did. And I love his statement, the priesthood of all believers, and that really is what it's all about. We come a long way, I believe, from that moment, and it's really important, I believe, for each one of us to believe for a fresh reformation. What an impact he had, and of course he changed history with what he did. But I believe that there are four key transitions that are taking place in the church, and they are related to an apostolic reformation. Let me give you those. From pastoral first to apostolic first. Now here I'm using the principle of C.S. Lewis. When you put second things first, you get neither first nor second. But when you put first things first, you get first and second. When we shift from pastoral first, gathering first, to sending first, we still get the pastoral. We're still going to be pastoring people. We're still going to be gathering people, but we're going to be gathering the sent ones and sending them back out again. From church first to kingdom first. Again, the same principle. But you see, it's that the whole earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of God as the waters cover the sea, not just the whole church. And that requires that we move from a big church mindset to big people mindset first. In other words, raising up the world changers and history makers. The individuals, of course, like Wilberforce, who ended slavery. And then finally, that we move from control or management first to empowerment first. It's not no management. It's that we empower first. We send, and you'll see that all four of those fit together. The apostolic is about sending. Kingdom is what we send them to do. And big people are the ones who need to go and become our world changers and history makers. What is a big person? They know who they are. They know why they're alive. They know where they are going, and they know the influence that their life will have. And they need to be empowered, believed in, trusted. And all of these transitions, they really fit together. So what is a reformation? Let me just give you again a few headings that I've put down in my chapter, because these are some of the things that I believe for and list whenever I talk about reformation. Reformation leads to a transformed society and a united bride. We have to believe for a united bride. Reformation unites, therefore, the church. We need to be united around the one whose name is Jesus, not divided over our ideas or our opinions, but united in his name. Reformation empowers the true priesthood of all believers. Reformation centers around the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Reformation affects and is accessible to every nation, tribe, and tongue. And Reformation displays the power and presence of God and releases the daughters and sons of God into their full expression. I do know that there's more, but those are absolute keys. I want to encourage you again to take your place. Some of you out there, you are reformers. That's who you are and what you do. I believe that in a way the elder brother was kind of a reformer. He'd been working there out in the field, and the young prodigal son returns. He's more of a returning evangelist. But the elder brother's been working out there hard in the fields. Feels like he hasn't had the instant rewards. There's many of you like that. You've been working for many years in education, in healthcare, in government, in business, in serving, in social work. You name it, you're out there. And I want to tell you that we need you. We need you out there. Sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes we feel it's a hard slog. But reformation is what we need. The transformation of our society, a restoration of our governments, our education systems, our healthcare, our businesses, our finance. You get the idea, the whole list. A reformation of them to come under the principles, our Judeo-Christian principles. So as I close this one, I want you to review. Check the definition of reformation. What might this look in the world around you were it to happen today? What will you declare to reinforce this? Perhaps you'll declare that you're bringing reformation one patient at a time, one customer at a time, one student at a time. And have you noticed the trends in worship in the church over the past few decades? If it is to continue to be reformed in an apostolic way, what do you see happening? And what do I mean by that? We've gone, haven't we, from Luther, where he stopped the singing of songs in a different language, right the way through to the hymn book and the sequence of praise and worship to the present today, where we just want to enjoy his presence. I believe that there is a key in worship and a relationship between worship and reformation. And I encourage you just to reflect on it. So thanks for listening to me. I believe that many of you listening to this, you're reformers, bringing reformation, one patient, one customer, one student, one foster child at a time. And we need you. Revival must always lead to reformation. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you again soon.